Ever scroll past like a picture of some crazy skyline and you're like, hold on, when did they build that? Like those places that seem to just pop up out of nowhere practically overnight.
Absolutely. Isn't it crazy?
Well, that's what we're diving into today. Instant cities, places like Dubai or the Pudong district in Shanghai. They're using all this cutting-edge tech and urban planning. It's wild. And the thing is, by 2050, most of us will be living in cities.
That's wild. What will life be like?
Well, it's happening now, so we've got to understand this whole thing. What's the deal with these instant cities?
Well, one big factor is this idea of spectacular urbanism.
So not just buildings, but like, look at me, buildings.
Exactly. It's about more than just being practical, you know? These cities want to be global landmarks.
It's like a competition for who can build the coolest, most impressive city.
Yeah, like who has the futuristic frontier city, you know? And it's not even a new thing. Think about ancient civilizations, the pyramids or those massive temples. Like showing off their power, it seems the same kind of thing with these new megacities.
So instead of pharaohs, it's like CEOs calling the shots now.
Yeah, with architects on speed dial.
But how do they build these places so fast? It's got to be more than just money and blueprints.
For sure. You need massive investment, global capital flowing in.
Makes sense. Everyone needs a place to live and work.
Exactly. They see these cities as the new hubs.
Okay, but how do they actually build them so quickly? Is it all like time-lapse tricks?
It's not trick photography, although it's almost as impressive. They use things like modular construction.
Modular construction, what's that?
So they make parts of the building somewhere else and then put them together on site, like giant Legos.
Whoa, giant Lego cities, that sounds awesome.
And super fast.
But you need a ton of people to put those Legos together, right? Who's doing all that work?
That's where things get complicated. A lot of these places rely on migrant labor.
And is that a problem?
Well, the thing is, with all that focus on speed, those workers' rights are only sometimes a priority.
So it's not all sunshine and rainbows then?
True. There are definitely some ethical concerns about how these cities are being built.
It's like we're so busy being impressed by these shiny new cities, we don't always think about the people actually living there.
Yeah, it's easy to forget about the human side when looking at a skyline.
Totally. Progress isn't always pretty.
Definitely not. And that's something we see with instant cities, this mix of amazing opportunities, but also some real challenges.
Yeah, because more people means more strain on, well, everything. Resources, infrastructure.
Okay, it's like trying to cram a whole orchestra into a phone booth. Something's got to give.
How do these instant cities even deal with that?
Well, that's where we get to another big trend, smart cities.
All right, so I'm imagining myself, right, staring at some flat-pack furniture instructions, completely lost. Where does smart come in?
Think of it like technology that makes those instructions crystal clear. It can anticipate problems before they happen, even connect you with others building the same thing across town.
Okay, so it's like giving a city a brain, but how does that actually work?
They use all sorts of things, digital infrastructure, data analysis, even AI to make the city run more smoothly.
Give me an example.
Like traffic management. A smart city can monitor traffic flow in real time and adjust traffic signals to prevent gridlock. Makes sense.
What else?
Air quality, emergency response, and even ensuring everyone has access to clean water.
So it's like they're building the city and its operating system at the same time.
Exactly. And a great example of this is Shanghai. They're using technology to manage pretty much everything.
Shanghai. So they're leading the pack.
But it makes you wonder, with all this focus on the new and shiny, what happens to the folks who are already living there?
That's the million-dollar question. And honestly, it often gets overlooked. All that investment, the desire for rapid growth, it can actually push out the people who already called that place home.
You're kidding.
It's a sad reality. They get priced out, their neighborhoods change, and sometimes they're even forced to relocate.
That's really tough. Their cities are being rebuilt around them, but they don't get a say in the blueprints.
And that's not even getting into the environmental impact.
Oh right, because all that construction can't be good for the planet.
It's a major concern. The resource consumption, the pollution from building materials, and the increased energy demands all add up.
So it's like we're celebrating human ingenuity on the one hand, but ignoring the cost on the other.
That's the dilemma with instant cities. Can we make this progress without sacrificing our planet or leaving people behind?
It really makes you think about the responsibility that comes with all this progress. We get so caught up in the wow factor, we don't always see the bigger picture.
It's true. And these aren't just hypothetical problems either. This is impacting real people all over the planet.
So how do we fix it? Where do we even start with something this big?
Honestly, it starts with awareness. You have to go beyond the marketing and the pretty pictures and really understand what's happening in these cities.
So, less about the skyscraper. It is more about the people living in their shadows.
Exactly. Who's benefiting? Who's paying the price? And how can we do this better, more equitably?
We're talking about real people's lives here, getting pushed out of their homes, struggling to make ends meet, dealing with the environmental fallout.
And we must remember that. We have to prioritize people and the planet alongside all the technological advancements.
So it's about more than just being smart, it's about being thoughtful, building livable cities, not just impressive.
100%. And that means everyone needs a seat at the table. The planners, the architects, the people living in these cities every day.
Because in the end, that's what cities are, right? They're about people, not just concrete and steel.
Right. It's about the human experience, and if we want these cities to thrive, we can't forget that.
It's like we're writing the next chapter in the story of cities, and it's up to us to get it right.
And it's a story that's still being written for sure.
Totally. Well, we've covered a ton today. Hopefully this deep dive will give you a new perspective on these instant cities.
Lots to think about.
Keep those questions coming. Keep the conversation going. And we'll catch you next time for another deep dive.